I am using a method called sublimation to print onto this cup. So in order to get to this point, I designed the design on my laptop. I printed it out using a sublimation printer. A sublimation printer has specific ink in, and you have to use sublimation paper in order for this to work. When printing the image, it's important to make sure it's sized up for the surface that you are applying it on. And it's also important to mirror the image. Once printed, cut off any excess, and then it's ready to apply to the surface. Here I am using heat tape to attach the image to the surface that I'm going to sublimate on. It's important to ensure you are using the correct tape that can handle the high temperatures. When adding the image to the surface that you are sublimating on, it's really important to get that as close as possible to the surface, but without creating any creases. Once the image has been applied to the surface, it's then time to add it to the tumbler press. So here I have set the appropriate temperature and time for this tumbler press. And then I add it to the tumbler press and hit go. Once it has sublimated on one side, I then turn it 180 degrees and set it off on the timer again. When using any form of heat press, it's important to ensure that you wear heat-resistant gloves to protect your hands. And once it has been completed, leave it to cool. Here I'm using a weeding tool to remove the tape. And here's the completed cup. Really pleased with the result. But the thing to remember, is it perfect? Absolutely not. The thing with sublimation, it's one of those things it takes time to learn the full technique. I'm still learning.